What up, YouTube? Felty's Aquaria. I not made a YouTube video in a while, so figured I'd just check in, show you guys what I got going. Expanded the garden out a little bit this year. Pretty much all I've been doing. Not really been messing with my fish tanks too much, just the garden. I'll go ahead and walk you around a little bit. Got strawberries growing in this little thing. I had, like, I can't remember if I showed it on the channel or not, but I had 4 tiers of this, but some of the strawberries died off. And so I just took the ones that looked like they were gonna grow back and just moved them down to these 2 layers. And I planted a lot of them into here. They just haven't started growing yet because it's really not rainy enough, and I haven't been really fully watering them as long as they're still dormant. They seem like they're getting a little more swollen up though. You guys can't really see, but this guy, put my hand on it if I can get back here far enough. This guy right here is my fucking cornelian cherry. Oh, excuse my language. I used to work. I work overnights now, so behind all these compost bins, I just got Nanking cherries. Can't really see them back there because the weeds are so grown up, but I did check around before everything started growing up. Oh, actually, this one you can see. It's gonna be a little hard, but I'm gonna zoom you in. So right in the center frame there, he's kind of got like a little bit more yellowy leaves there. He's got the 2 or 3 branches coming up like in a you know, like this kind of pattern here. But that's one of the Nankings. I got 3 of those back there. I think only 2 of them survived the winter. So I'll probably plant another one in here pretty soon. These are all just compost bins. They look kind of disgusting, but I'm not really big on flipping my compost, but it helps saving all the compost still. Even if you're not a compost flipper, you might be somebody who's like, oh, well, I'm just gonna not even do that. What's the use? But what you could do is you could compost all your waste and like wood pieces and stuff like that, and you just use them for hugelkultur, whatever it's called, where you do like a core garden where you put the wood and the organic waste down in the bottom, and it offers a good core for water to be absorbed and stuff. Just going back behind here on this side, this is my other cornelian. They're 2 different kinds of cornelian cherries. They are labeled, but I'm not gonna bother messing with that right now. These guys are all potato onions on the right side here. You can see there's one winter top setting onion on this side, in the right side. I think he just kind of fell over because they walk. But all the ones on the left here, most of them anyway, are winter onions, winter top setting onions, or walking onions, Egyptian onions they're also called. You even see I got a couple of them. They top set it out into the area over here, and so they just kind of spread themselves, guys. It's really kind of cool. If you want like a good garden patch, you could just plant these right under the ground, and you have like a good onion patch for most of the year. They don't make as big of a bulb, of course. So then we got some rosemary, some thyme right here, and then I think this is a different kind of thyme. I'm actually not sure if that's like a flowering, like a pretty thyme, or if it's also a cooking thyme, to be completely honest. I just planted it as, I believe it was a cooking thyme though. This is corn salad or mash, which is a green. This is curled parsley. I need to go get some flat parsley. I keep forgetting to grab it. Got some dill, pretty good looking dill too. If you look down in here, he's got a nice thick stalk on him. He's growing up pretty good. Man, what is this? This is sage, I believe. Let's see. Catnip. That's catnip. My bad. The sage kind of, after it grows up, it kind of looks similar to that. And then this is purslane, which is also like a little green. And the purslane and the corn mash, they didn't really do that great, but that's okay. They're perennial. They seed out and then they grow back every year. This all back here, all this green, all that back in that bed is garlic. Those are all hardneck garlics, and you can see they're looking pretty good. They're looking pretty thick. I got some even thicker ones than that one back in the back, but I don't want to reach through them too bad. And these are all lettuces. The ones in the I'd call it the front, I guess it's closer to me. They're called Little Jim. These guys right here, they're almost like a fusion of a romaine and a butter crunch. And then these guys right here are a romaine. These guys are our butter crunch. These guys are, like I said, like a fusion between the two of them almost. They're called Little Jim lettuce. This is Marvel Four Seasons lettuce. It's supposed to be really good for growing, you know, through the summer and stuff like that. It's more of just like a cut and come again leaf lettuce. That's why I got all these head and lettuces over here. And I'm going to start harvesting them out probably in the next couple days to a week. I'm going to harvest out the biggest ones that I can, and then that way these other ones will bulb up, or not bulb up, head up a little bit nicer. Besides that guy, we got some Mizuna. I believe this one is called 407 Mizuna, the red one. These are all carrots in a line here. In the back, I got my tomatoes. These ones, let's see. We got this one is a yellow slicer, yellow Amish slicer. They got maybe, I think, a little bit of cold damage on them, but I think they're going to be okay. We had our last cold night last night. Weather saying we're supposed to be warming up now. And not that it was even that cold anyway, but it did damage these guys a little bit. It looks like it may be just a water thing. Maybe they just didn't get enough water also, but I'm not really sure. Let's keep moving along. Like I said, we got carrots down the middle. So right down the middle through here are also carrots. There it goes with the focus. These are also carrots. And then we got tomatoes, like I said, down the back. Yellow Amish slicer right here. This is also a slicing tomato. I believe it's a Big Bertha. And then that's also a yellow Amish slicer. I just decided that I was going to plant them off center to make it look prettier. And then starting here on that guy, we have Romas. These are younger Romas that I just bought not too long ago, because it'll help kind of be like a succession sow, where your older Romas, especially if you have determinate Romas, they'll be dying off and stuff, and these ones might last a little bit longer through the summer, a little bit better, like not get it quite as diseased and not need as much water and stuff like that. Let's see, these are daikon radishes, and I do know there's way too many of them sitting in that spot, but we're going to be harvesting those out, and I'm going to just leave like 2 big daikons to grow right there. Try to leave one on this right side and one on the left side so they grow good. I already showed you the Mizuna and the lettuce. This is summer Mizuna. I said the other one was 407, I believe. These are also carrots going all the way down, and then more Roma tomatoes. That right there is perpetual spinach. It's taken a while to get going, but it is a perennial, and it should last a while. It's good because it tastes pretty similar to spinach, has a very, very similar texture, and it lasts through the summer without seeding. So that's why I'm trying to grow it. We'll see how it goes. Then I got, like I said, more Romas back here. It goes all the way down with Romas. And these are bigger Romas. You can't really tell that they're bigger Romas. I think I may have broke this one off, but I'm hoping he's still okay. I kind of tried to put the stem as close as I could together, and then if you bury it over with hay, it might mend itself. So yeah, I did that. So we got the Romas back here all the way down, and then there's some basil. Basil looking a little bit cold damaged, I believe. If you look here, oh, kind of like a brownie shriveled leaf. I believe that's a little bit of cold damage, it looks like. But it should be okay. If not, I'll just buy some more basil. Basil's not too big of a deal. And then through here we got beets. We've got turnips right here, these bigger leaves. And then we got some cherry bell radishes, which are probably getting pretty close to harvest time. Okay, they just got a little radish head. You probably can't see very good. Got a little radish head on them, a little bulb. So they need to go a little bit longer. And then there we got our onions. And what I'm really proud of this year is all the onions, guys. If you can't see, they're right here in between. And those, since I'm gonna harvest out most of these greens, and greens don't really root too aggressively, it shouldn't mess with the onions too much. I'm gonna harvest out a bunch of these greens and then just plant them in lighter as the onions are bulbing up. And like I said, these up here in the front are also greens. That's a romaine mint lettuce, mint romaine or something like that. And then this is just Jung's kaleidoscope mix. So it's just a bunch of different kinds of leaves. That's why there's so many different colors. Those are cut and come again. And the ones on the right here are some Harding or Heading lettuces. In front of my tomatoes over here, you can't really see them too great, But those are my smaller onions. Those are ones that I started indoors this year, so they're not quite as big. I also started some of them later than others. They're not quite as big as the ones that I bought from plant, because I did find some from plant. And this whole bed right here is also onions. It's a new bed this year. These are all in the blue buckets, are all King Arthur peppers, bell peppers. These 3 in the back are jalapeno peppers, or 4 in the back, sorry. Let's see. There's a wasp doing his thing. Couldn't quite get him. You can kind of see him just buzzing. These are also onions that I bought from Lowe's. And if you guys want some good onion plants, you know, I usually have a hard time finding like onion plants, not sets. Because if you grow onion sets, they're not really good for storage onions. And what I really want is a lot of storage onions, because we love onions. So this is kind of my solution. I found onion plants this year, and they weren't very expensive. Maybe like $5 for a big old bundle of plants. I bought 2 bundles of them. I planted in a ton of red onions. The red onions, I'm not sure if they're a storing onion or not. So I hope they are, but if they're not, it's okay. They'll still store for, you know, pretty much any onion stores for at least some months, like 3 to 6 months maybe. And these guys in the back are candy onions. The ones in the front are red. The 3 rows in the front are red, and I believe the 2 back ones are candy, because I'm hoping they're going to be the storings for sure, and they're going to need to get a little more space to get those big bulbs. Some of these guys in the back I just kind of planted in, like back here. These are onions, but they're in a bed of garlics. So all these are soft neck garlics. They're a mixture of soft neck garlics. Like most of the big ones are soft necks that I planted last year at the end of the year. And then some of these smaller ones you see in here that are garlic still. Like, for instance, this guy right here is a garlic. It's not an onion, but it's very small. That's because it's a spring garlic. I planted those from all my garlics that I had stored from last year, and they sprouted. So if you ever have any garlic sprout, don't not use them and throw them out. Plant them out in the garden, and then you get some spring garlic. It's not going to be a whole garlic bulb like you're used to, but you'll still get a good, you know, clove, and then you'll also get the green off of it. It'll have a chance to grow a little bit more than it would have, especially if you're not just going to eat it that day. These are all shallots. I have 2 different kinds of shallots in here, I believe. I have French Grays and Dutch Reds. No idea which shallots are which. But I have done shallots before. They weren't very good. But if you look down in here, you can just tell. Let's see if I can get it to. Ooh, that's a good focus. I got a new iPhone, so yeah. But you can just tell that there's a lot more substance down in there. So they should have made some pretty big bulbs. All these guys in whites and the blue, or not the blue, the purple. Buckets are banana peppers. That right there is oregano, Greek oregano, I believe. It's Greek oregano. It is Italian oregano. I don't know if that's the same thing or not, but I'm disappointed in myself for not knowing that. We got Parisian carrots. Any of the greens you see planted, see some of those ones in there died, but on the other side I got some more. Those are also Parisian carrots. These are also onions. There's 2 rows of them. You can't really see them, but just believe me, there are indeed 2 rows of onions through there. And then in the front, we just got strawberries. Making a lot of strawberries this year so far. You can see, let's see if I can zoom it in a little. See some good blooms coming up on those. See if we can zoom in on some more blooms. There's a couple coming off of that one. There's some good ones in the front, right? But then, what really is doing good, look at these. Oh yeah, look at that, guys. There's a lot of them down in here too, like a ton of them. There's a ton of strawberries in there, so we're really happy about that. Like I said, they got the Parisian carrots around in the center blocks, onions in the back, strawberries in the front, and then over here we have more strawberries. These are Chinese chives, so they're similar to chives, but they have more of a garlicky flavor, people say. These are grape tomatoes, these two are also grape tomatoes. I just didn't get cages on them yet. I need to go grab some more cages. Gave away a lot of my cages thinking I wasn't going to use them, and well, it's fine because my mom needs them, so I'm okay giving them to her. And this is one more King Arthur Bell. I didn't have another blue bucket to plant it in. I almost got them all. You see that one's not quite the same, but they're almost all in blue buckets, so it worked out pretty good. And then the last thing that I added to the garden this year, we got potatoes here. That's 5 Yukon Golds, and then I got 1 fingerling growing in there because I just got my fingerlings in the other day. We've got in the closer to the fence, further away from me, is a line of russets. I believe there's like 7 russets in there. They're caribou russets, which are supposed to be pretty damn good storing potatoes. Oh, here's my Parisian carrots that I promised you guys were over here. That way you believe me. Don't think that I'm lying to you. And then back here, I got a row of about maybe like 10 Yukon Golds. So I got some more Yukon Golds. I got them from Maine Potato Lady. She's supposed to have really good organic seed potatoes. And let me tell you, the seed potatoes I got from her, they look so much better than the ones I bought from Lowe's or Menards or wherever I got them. So much better. Like, it wasn't even close. But, I mean, the Yukon Golds from Lowe's, they still did okay. They still grew. And what I'm doing this year, you know, with potatoes, you want to hill them to get the maximum amount. But I've heard a lot of people say that you can straw them, and then when you're done, you just kind of rake the straw back and don't hurt the potatoes, and you don't have to dig for them. Instead, the potatoes will just be laying through those layers of straw. So we're gonna try that out. And then, like I said, we got the Yukon Golds here, and then I got a couple fingerlings planted in on the side. You can't see, but I do have a label. And actually, I might not have a label because, as you see, I got my trap out because a raccoon came in last night and dug up some potatoes, so he might have kicked the label off to the corner somewhere. There's no telling. All right, I'm almost done with you guys. I'm sure most people probably won't watch this far in, right? And I need to cut back some thistle bush. And I got a fridge door out here. And this is kind of messy over here because I just was working over here. This is where I just potted up all the peppers. Just like maybe, 20 minutes ago or something. And I'm about to come through with the weed eater and weed eat all this stuff up. This is over in the orchard. Got some chicken manure too that I'm thinking about. I might go fertilize some stuff. It's about that time. Okay, you guys know what everything is in the orchard, but let me just go over what's still alive. That's the important part, right? So we have a pawpaw right there. You can't really see him, but he is there. He is alive. We have a pawpaw here. It was alive. Yes, it is alive. You can see very tiny little foliage is coming off of this. That's pawpaw. The nectarines, this one here and that one there are nectarines. And then this guy on the other side of the nectarine is a peach. They all survived good. This is a cherry. This is a cherry. And that's a cherry. They all survived good. Apple. I'm not sure what all the varieties are because these are all different varieties of stuff. The only things that are the same varieties might be the nectarines and then like the grapes. So then I got some grapes. I thought this grape died. These are all seedless, but it ended up coming back to life. So all the seedless grapes survived this year. We got 6 of those, and I think since they survived that hot ass summer last year, we had a really hot summer here last year. Oh, I'm gonna use this as a worm bin, so don't pay it any mind. It's gonna end up getting its use here pretty soon as a worm bin. So yeah, they survived that hot ass summer, so I think that they should survive the long haul. All 6 of them, since they all survived. And then back here we got I thought these were blackberries at one point in time back in here. They're not quite grown up yet, but it's actually black raspberries. And I also have a mulberry tree right center frame there. Let's see what else. This is a raspberry I planted this year because all my raspberries, including the ground cover raspberries, died off. You can see those cages where I planted the ground covers, and like maybe that stuff's growing out is raspberries, but I kind of fucking doubt it. I got more ground cover raspberries. I got 4 of them, 2 different varieties, 2 of each. So we'll be replanting those, and we'll have raspberries next year. But that's no big deal. I did pretty good, I think. This is a blackberry. It survived. Blackberry, it survived. Blackberry, it survived. And I mean, look at this blackberry. That is turning into a straight bush. I won't even be able to walk behind these eventually, guys. But these things are just going to spread out so much. I'm going to have to come in here and hack these things down. But they're going to make those fruit. We're going to love them. Even with thorns, we're going to just come out with gloves and stuff, and we're going to love this stuff. This here is a blueberry. I'm guessing, I'm not for sure, but I'm guessing red leaves like that means that it might need some more acid, some more acidic soil. This is also a blueberry. They all survived from last year. Don't ask me what that is. Michelob Ultra can, not that. But what is this? That's not like rhubarb or something, is it? Anybody know what this is? If anybody comment in the video, I'm gonna take a picture of it with my iPhone in a second and see. Might be poison ivy. I'm just touching all over it, but no big deal. I'm about to get rolling and wash my hands. And there was a cranberry over here. I got another one of those, a ground cover cranberry. Grapes. Pretty much all my grapes died. The seeded grapes, the Concord seeded grapes, they pretty much all died. I was really sad about that. I think it was just too hot, so I replanted 6 of them. Let's see, the only one that I'm worried might not survive is this one, because he got dug up pretty aggressively when I first planted him in, and I think he lost his bud point. Sometimes if they lose even just one bud point, it might be the only one they make. You never know. The other ones, I think they're all going to grow in. And then I even got like this one. I didn't think this one was going to survive, and it's growing back. So I might end up with like 12 of these, you know, like they might all just grow back, because grapes might just be more resilient than I thought they were. Yeah, I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Oh, and these are also potatoes. This is where the rest of my fingerling potatoes are. I got about 10 fingerlings in here. I think that should be about enough space. Maybe I needed to plant them a little further apart, but it's okay. I got too many, honestly, like too many poundages, but you can only order in certain poundages when you're ordering them online. You can't just go like, oh, like I just want 1 pound of each. Like you can't really do that. So I kind of had to get like 3 pounds of fingerlings and so on and so forth. But next year, I'm saving all my own garlic. I'm saving all my own seed potatoes. And we're gonna plant all that from scratch, heirloom style. That's what I'm gonna try to be about from now on, just because the world's pretty, you know, you never know what's gonna happen. So I just like to the freedom for that. It's, like I said, pretty messy over here, guys. I did a little bit of cleaning up in the garden, but not really too much over here. Oh, and I planted a flower bed this year. This is just like it was kind of just to pretty up this area. It'll hide my hose and my shitty gutter there that it's not even in use. Like we don't need that gutter anymore, because I have it funneled, you know, to the front through this corrugated pipe. So yeah, I just kind of want flowers to just grow up here. I might plant in some bushes or something, something hedgy. But yeah, most of these things, the little green things, some of the stuff in the back is weeds, but a lot of the little green things you see up in the middle and the front are actually flowers sprouting, and so we're really excited about that. I probably look horrible. I just got off of work, but well, not just got off. I've been up for like I've been off for like 4 or 5 hours, and yeah, guys, hopefully you have a great day. I appreciate everybody like who tunes in, even though I haven't been here for so long, and enjoy your time, YouTube. Peace.